Well, good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Underhood Show presented by Mel Hambelton Ford. My name is Phil Nightingale and Josh Prophet. Morning, Josh.
Good morning.
Hey, it's a bright, sunny 70. We've been talking about this for a while.
Yes,
Sunny and 70.
plus.
Yeah, I kind of love it. You know the truth.
Yeah.
Kind of nice to feel that air conditioner hit me in the face when I get in my truck this morning, this evening, instead of everything else, too. So, hey, it's a call-in show, 316-462-3673. That's the number right to the front desk. Tell the girls you can get past in the podcast. And anything ailing your car, tires, brakes, batteries, anything that might need some questions about, something you don't understand or whatever. Josh and I are here to answer your questions and get you a great price package valued over $130 for each and every caller. As always, Josh, what's in that package?
So we'll mail it out to you, but it's going to consist of the works, which is an oil change and tire rotation, which we're going to talk about a little bit here a little bit later. Got some exciting news for that for just a little bit longer. The multi-point inspection, so checking over the brakes, tires, steering, suspension, all the safety-related components on that vehicle. Excuse me, making sure that it's geared up and ready to go for that next 5,000 miles of driving. Complete nitrogen for your tires, so you get all the great benefits that nitrogen has to offer for your tires. And then $10 to Mel's Diner, so you can get yourself something to eat and drink while you're here with us at the Big Corner. And a BG products package, which consists of a can of MOA or motor oil additive for your engine oil, and then 44K for your fuel system. Again, just getting that vehicle geared up and ready to go for that next 5,000 miles of driving.
All right, 316-462-3673. Let's get the phones. We're going to love to hear from you. Anyway, morning, Jeff Daniel. How you doing, buddy? And let's see, Josh, you have some exciting news that happened that started this week.
We do. Yeah, we do. That's the works is what I was referring to in that. And so we have which is, it blows me away, the dollar figure of this rebate. So it's $25 off of the works package. So it's
$64.95.
It's $64.95, and you get $25 back on that.
$39.
So even
back to a price about 5 years ago.
Well, I think probably way before that. I mean, I don't know. Do you remember?
I remember talking about it. Saying the works package was $39.95. But
do you think? So what? When we left Hutch, what do you think it was? Of course, I don't know. I don't remember being as focused on the works package over there, because it was more of like a 3,000 mile interval.
Yeah, we had more 3,000.
So it was like an every other.
I'm starting to think maybe we didn't switch to the 5,000 interval until we got over here.
Well, and I was trying to think of when kind of that. When the manufacturer started getting the semi-synthetic oils, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I don't think there was anything like the works package in 08 when we came over here. I think Ford always had the works package, but it wasn't in depth as it is today. But when we were at the Chevy store over there, I don't know that we had. I remember $29.95.
Well, that's what I was thinking too. In my mind was $29.95, but I think that was probably just like the oil change.
That was just an oil change. There was no tire rotation, no nothing in it at all.
But even at our $64.95 right now,
yep.
If you do the math and you go to like a Walmart or somewhere and you buy an actual Motorcraft oil filter and Motorcraft engine oil for your vehicle, I mean, you're talking, I would say at best deal ever, $55 would be my guess on that service. And so the labor portion of that is minuscule for what you get out of that. If you think you're paying $10 to have somebody do it, think of the disposal of the oil. Think of the
oil spots on your driveway.
Oh yeah, because it's going to happen, right? Think of the length of time, but the value, where the value comes from me,
Josh, I'm even going to tell you too. It's a joke back here in the race stall when we start draining fluids or filling fluids level. I don't think there's ever been a time that we haven't put oil on the floor.
It's a rite of passage, right? Like we've got a fluid draining. Yeah. Some of it's got to hit the floor. So you got to wear some of it. Some of it's got to hit the floor. Yeah. And then some of it's got to get where it's not supposed to on the car somewhere.
Yeah,
or something along those
lines. You want those spots in your driveway. You got to get rid of the old oil and filter correctly, or legally is how we should say that.
Yeah. But and out of all that, none of that compares to the value of having somebody that is, certified or seen more of your vehicles in a week's time or a day time than then then you have mechanical knowledge and probably a lifetime to know what to look at, where to look at it, how to tell if it's good or bad or any other, and to check over the safety related components on that vehicle and just make sure that everything is wearing like it should, and that car or truck or whatever you're driving is going to last you as many miles as you want it to take you know.
Well, and I'm going to go into the next thing is just for example, with our new modems in our cars, and if we're pulling on the service drive, the advisor can write the repair order real quick, get your miles off that modem. But also, they're checking recalls.
Yeah.
They're checking bulletins or checking things or anything at all. Maybe you have a notification on something to be aware of. That's just another whole aspect of this $64.95, or now we're $39.95.
Yeah, and and I guess so. I'm not even sure we've finished the value of the rebate, but it's $25.
Yeah,
yeah, off of the works package, and this goes until the 19th.
So better hurry.
So definitely, you want to take advantage of that. If you're close and you need the works package, never a better time for sure in regards to that. But again, like what I was saying, the dollar value on that rebate for the value of the service, can't tell you that I've ever seen anything quite that high of a percentage of what the overall value of it is. We've had larger dollar rebates. Typically on tires you get 100, or seen as high as maybe $150 rebate, but as far as a percentage of the overall service, that I think that's huge. I mean, that's dang near half of the money for it. So very, very exciting for sure.
Okay, got to answer a text. Customer got a little issue with their car, and he probably forgot we're on the show. He could call me, but that's okay.
Yeah, I understand that. So you definitely, if that's something that you need to take advantage of, get with us, and we'll be more than happy to help you out with that. Again, that runs until the 19th. But again, just talking about the works and in general and what that entails, obviously oil change, tire rotation, but again, that multi-point inspection, topping off all the fluids, is another portion of that multi-point inspection or that works package that takes place. And this time of the year, if you see a lot of people use a lot of washer fluid, for sure, starting to get the bug season out. The other day I was driving home. You can always tell, always gauge, I guess, the time of year when you drive home, and then by how many bugs you can get on your windshield between here and
Haven.
I
was looking through bugs on my way here to work this morning, Josh.
Yeah.
And that's crazy. We got our drive-through car wash. I could drive through real quick, but I all seem like I don't got that 5 minutes to spare.
It does happen, that's for sure. So, and that's again, to me, the advantage on that works package is having that technician take a look at everything and just make sure that everything is okay and up and going for the vehicle, for sure. So
anyway, sorry, texting Kelly down at Quick Lane real quick, get this guy in real quick, and he's got a low tire this morning.
Yeah, send that to Mike.
Kelly. Yes. Kelly not there.
Yeah, send it to Mike Sheraton as well. So, and I can get it to one of the advisors if we need to as well. So, but so low tire light is the other thing.
Yeah, let's talk about that.
This time of year, the other day went to a baseball game. I think it was Wednesday. When we went there, so it was right after work. It was up here at this place over in Goddard. Son had two baseball games back to back. I think it was Wednesday evening over here at this sports complex in Goddard. And when we went there, it started at 6. So I got there and it was almost 80 degrees. I mean, it was really close to 80 degrees, but by that evening, it had cooled. I mean, everybody was wearing hoodies and it had cooled off quite a bit. And just that temperature change, or that
if you'd have known that temperature is going to change, would have been curious to see what your tire pressures were, and then check them once that temperature went down and see where it's at.
Well, and then when you add, the heat of the road, or the sun, sun reflecting off the heat of the road, in that 80 degrees, that asphalt, by the time you add the sun reflecting off of it, and then the heat of the tire running on the asphalt and stuff like that, versus that evening when it's cool or there's no sun on that asphalt. I mean, I bet that asphalt's probably 10 degrees warmer than, sun versus no sun. And you think about all the dynamics that go into tire pressure and how crucial that is. And I do believe that, the manufacturer of these tires, they're just like every other product, they get better over time and produce a better product and make something that, or engineer something around those cause and effect situations to make it not have such a drastic effect. But the tire pressure is so crucial to the tire wear on that vehicle. And, these tires are freaking expensive,
Like I tease you all the time. You bring those used cars out there to me that were proven. And I say, Josh, I just need 4 tires. I don't need 8.
Well, and, going back to that same oil change scenario of, okay, how many ever years ago, which now would be, well, June, July will be 17 years. Kind of 2008, where a set of tires then, you were spending $400, $500, $600. Of course, they were also probably a 15, 16, 17.
Tires were $100 for 4 with my dad.
For 4?
For 4, $100. We had a special for it. 4 tires for 100. I'm
not
kidding.
Do you remember what kind of tires you were running?
Atlas, man. We were the
Atlas.
We were the Amco dealer. We had the Atlas tires, man.
Was that
you had the bi-spline, you had the radials, you had a fiberglass, or you had a steel belted, whichever one you want, because they were still proving which tire was better.
Yeah.
And I just we did a little test on that, but I couldn't remember what we actually did there.
Well, I can tell you which one won out because fiberglass ain't around anymore. So
yeah, I get that too, buddy.
Here we're gonna get a caller sent through here, but that's top 4 tires for $100. I mean, I can remember 14-inch tires literally carrying 4 tires to a tire machine like it was nothing, and getting those things mounted up and put on a vehicle, or picking all 4 of them up with wheels on them. And today there's no way. I don't know if it's because I've gotten weaker or the tires have gotten heavier, but anyways, hey, let's go to the phones. Let's talk to Tim. Tim, good morning. You're on live with Under the Hood.
Morning, Ricky. Morning, Cal.
I knew that's exactly what was going to happen right there. Are you there in Virginia yet, or are you still getting there?
I'm 1,023 miles from Wichita in Charleston, West Virginia currently.
Yeah.
And loving the ride.
I told you it's a different ball game, isn't it?
You there?
Yeah, we're here.
Yeah, we're here. Hey, I think you left one of your lights on at your house. You're going to need to turn around and come back and get that shut off.
I hope it's not like the last time we left the toilet running for 10 days.
Ooh, that's tough.
Yeah, that is tough.
$540 some.
That's not bad.
Hey, but I want to tell you guys the electric deal on this truck now is much better than the 21.
Yeah, I told you it's a different ball game.
It is. I've been 75. Well, trying to keep it under 80 anyway, so the Blue Cruise works.
Yep.
But I've already got 85 electric miles, and normally this trip, that would be all I would get.
Okay, so say that again one more time.
I said normally on this trip I'd only get about 85 to 100 total miles, and that's about 2,400 miles total trip. I'm only 1,000 into it so far, and I've already got 85 miles. And it will go to electric at 70 if there's no load on it. It's just amazing.
Yeah, they've done so much advancements into that. It's crazy. Another example, yesterday I had a gentleman come in and he said, I wanted a new F-150, and he said, I don't want no hybrid. I want none of that crap, and stuff. And he said, and so we get in the truck. Of course, I pull a hybrid up and didn't tell him. Okay. And he goes, where's that button to turn that auto stop off? And I said, well, I hate to tell you, but this truck, it doesn't have it. And I said, you're not going to notice it starting and stopping at the lights and stuff like that. So we went on about a 10-minute drive, and pulled up in it. He said, "I'll take it." Still has no idea he's got a hybrid truck. He's coming back Monday to sign the paperwork. That's how smooth those trucks work compared to the other ones. They've done such an amazing job of not even
The
telling
transition of it,
you, not shutting off, not anything. So you're going to double your electric miles on that trip, aren't you?
Oh, absolutely. If not exceed them by quite a bit.
So what's your mileage compared to you? Can you see you should have seen a bigger change in mileage too, I think.
Not a whole lot right now. I'm a little north of 20, not much, but it's like I said, I've been pushing it. I got mountains. I could get a whole lot better if I would keep my foot out of it. I know.
Well, I told you too, if I take and just drive one in town and I really try and baby it, do everything I can, I've gotten 30 miles to gallon with those hybrid trucks in town. And now what I need to do, I need to try the new 25 and see what I can get with it compared because there's so much more. I haven't done it since 21 when we had those trucks first come out from that part too. So
that
this is light years ahead of it. I got another question though. I just saw where Kansas is going to start adding for hybrids and electric vehicles. Is this going to qualify for that? Am I going to have to pay a tax on that?
I didn't know that. I haven't heard it. You're saying they're going to tax you on a hybrid and electric cars?
Yeah, just saw it yesterday.
Right, because you're not using the fuel for like road tax and stuff would be my guess. I don't know. I have not seen that out there yet. Where'd you see it at, Tim?
Channel 12 News, I think, is where I saw it.
Where you saw it. I'll do some digging around, see if I can find something about that too. But I don't know if that would really classify because you still got an internal combustion engine sitting there running. And as you say, so you've went how many miles so far?
1,027 right now.
Okay, and how many miles electric?
86.3 right now.
Because that's 0.8% electric. So I don't know how they'd ever classify that that part. Greg Murray says all electric pays a higher fees. Hybrid pays slightly higher fees. And he's saying it's because you're using less gas. Well, that's what I thought we were all trying to do, get better fuel economy and stuff like that too.
But then they don't have the taxes to accommodate for the road use and, stuff like that, I'm sure. Yeah, that would be that'd be a good question.
The next question I'm going to do is
I need to get a lighter pair of shoes.
Yeah, I think that I'd have to figure that, read the rules and the laws and all that kind of stuff too.
I mean, that's kind of a double-edged deal, isn't it? Right? You've got the manufacturer on one side, or they're hitting the manufacturers up saying, "Hey, you guys gotta."
Hey, Tim, I just had a little text come in from somebody and said to get your tissue out.
Nice.
You know who that might have come from?
Yeah, the loser. Second place.
Yeah, he's got a question here too. We got to get an answer to. I haven't gotten to his question yet too, so we'll have to get to that question here real quick after we get done. So, well, anyway, you're never gonna reset that at all. You're gonna run that whole trip out and back, right?
I'll run that on trip 1, and then I'll run the trip back on trip 2.
Okay. Now, I'll be curious on the whole trip and see where it's at when you come back from that whole trip.
I'll tell you what, we've dodged a lot of water coming this way, man.
Well, that's why you
people have had it bad.
Have they really? That's what you said. You left a week later just to get rid of that water. I didn't realize there's that much water out there, or rain, or whatever had happened.
Yeah, it's been hard to believe.
Yep.
I'll let you guys take another call or whatever. Just wanted to say hi and we're motoring on.
All right. Thanks for the update. Drive safe, and we'll see you when you get back.
All right, buddy. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Tim.
Take care.
You too.
Have a good one.
Bye.
Bye.
Okay, so Jeff has got a question. Josh, he says, have a tire. He's got the 20. He's got an identical truck as Tim's.
Okay.
Other than color. So it's have a tire rub when steering max out. It looks like to be rubbing the wire harness going into the lower fog light inside the fender well.
Yeah, there's actually on some of those there's a bulletin out that acknowledges that, and it's just a matter of a relocation of that harness is what it amounts to. Pretty simple to get addressed or get taken care of, for sure. So
Yeah. So anyway, Jeff, we do know about it. There's a situation of relocation of the wires. Is it both
it's
sides?
it's just on the passenger side, if I remember right.
Passenger side. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Looks like they got us a link up here. What the heck? What else we?
Yeah, so I think all you're going to get there
Yeah, that's
is
all we're gonna. I thought maybe we could get that. So I guess we'll have to check that link out right there. Everybody, there's your link if you want to go check out this deal. So Tim, there is a link there. I'll have to dig into this a little bit and see what's going on here from that part. But I guarantee you what it is. This is what Greg is saying up there. Is it's paying? They're losing road tax for less fuel. But again, 8% that Tim's using electric. I don't know how they would really.
it's well, and then you figure that's over so many different states too. So
Yeah.
What's crazy to me is like they're hounding on the manufacturers for better fuel economy, better fuel economy, better fuel economy,
for it.
and then they're turning around and now they're going to tax the consumer for because you've invested in these better fuel economy vehicles, and now you're going to get some sort of penalty for that too. Which 100% I could see it happening, because I mean you do understand you got to pay for the roads and stuff.
Okay, now Brooke she got a whole link in there. Brooke, thanks for doing all this for us. Really appreciate that very much. In the 2019 legislation session, lawmakers passed Senate substitutes for House Bill 2/2014 with increase for fuel. I don't know if I can put that all up there or not. Let's try it.
See what happens. And then I don't know. You probably can't scroll down through it, can you? No. Yeah.
It's only going to put so much up there at a time. So, Brooke, hey, thanks for showing all that for us to do that. So that the link will be there. But basically, it says it takes effect 2020. Well, we're in 2025.
Yeah. Yeah. So
who knows when they're gonna actually tax us? If that wouldn't affect in 2020.
State highway fund revenue by $610,000.
Registration fees will increase for $100 for either with a current and $30 or $40 fee. So maybe they've been paying. Maybe we've been taxing. We don't
paying it all along,
and not even knowing that it's
there. Yeah.
From that part too. So anyway, Brooke, thanks for all that input very much. Now, Josh, how do I go back and get the phone number back up?
Yeah, let's go. That one, I think that'll get you. And then, yeah, there you go. Right there. Got it. Just like that.
Just like that. Boy, that's pretty tech savvy there for that part. So anyway, Tim, it does look like maybe in 2020 they started taxing us a little bit more. Electric cars got charged $100, and I can't tell what they're going to do on hybrids. So anyway, looks like it's been probably been paying it. Don't even know you've been paying it. So what I'm looking at, but I need to read it into more depth there real quick and everything else too. So hey, anyways, get the phones. We're at 316-462-3673. Love to hear from you. Anything ailing your car, tires, brakes, batteries, anything in the automobile world. And don't forget, you got the $25 rebate that we're just talking about till the 19th.
I'm still going back to this, buying 4 tires for $100.
It was $100, man.
Okay, and
got to remember that was in early 70s.
Would those $100 tires make it 10,000 miles?
No, that was if you got 10,000 of a tires back then. That
really?
Was amazing. Yeah.
You were,
yeah, That was the thing about every 10,000 miles you spent tires on.
That's crazy. You tell somebody they need tires now at 10,000 miles,
freak out. But it just happened though, hadn't it?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, I can think of situations where people don't rotate them, and I mean now 10,000 miles is maybe a little excessive, but I can remember a lady that drove a large van and she was like a mail carrier or something, and was always in cul-de-sacs.
Oh, it should turn the same way.
Yeah, I mean, just roasted the front 2 tires in this thing in no time.
I got one for you. So I got a guy. This would have been in early 80s, and he had a Chevelle, and he kept wearing the outside edge of the right front tire. Okay. We did everything in that alignment. It was perfect. It was done. We even tried to adjust them, doing some things with it, everything else like that. Couldn't figure out nothing why we kept wearing the outside edge off that front tire. Same situation when he went to work. He went one way, he turned right everywhere. When he come home, he went another way, he turned right everywhere. He come home, so that right front tire just kept turning and turning and turning and turning.
Yeah.
I mean, I changed that alignment trying to get the tire to lean back in, do everything else, just a toe, and then all of a sudden, I mean, I bet we aligned this thing 8 times. And finally, we started talking to him about it, and it's just got to be something different. But he did. He went to work one way, and it turned right every corner that he did. When he come home, he went a different way, and he turned right every time coming back home again. Yeah.
I can think of countless situations or scenarios where somebody says, hey, I got a pull or a drift, or my tires are wearing kind of odd or funny. But then just through further investigation of how they're using the vehicle, I can think of several instances of people, pulling maybe a lot more weight, or a bale bed on a truck or something like that. And, in those situations, I remember a specific Mercedes that we were fighting on, that it was just chewing through tires like crazy, but the manufacturer had it set up where the camber in the car was so extreme, so that car would corner.
Mm-hmm.
And it would just chew through the one edge of the tire so much, and then we were able to perform an alignment based on more so tire wear than what the manufacturer's recommendations were. And the last set we put on it, I mean, it was able to go 50,000 miles on it, as opposed to every 10,000-15,000 miles it was kind of chewing through those tires. So,
well, I still also remember too, all the higher end cars our customers would have, and they'd go 10,000 miles on a set of those soft tires. But then we went in and changed all the alignment back, got them standing straight up and down, set all the negative camber you have in them and everything else, and got them to run a lot longer than probably double what they used to do. So anyway, Brooke, we'll definitely send you out the package for doing all that research. Not a problem. Love to help you on. Thank you for doing that. So we'll get to a package sent out to you. So maybe I'm sure we got Greg's information, I bet, somewhere to send that out to you. So Brooke, we'll get that to you. Anyway, Jay Irwin, do we not get any free oil changes or pickup service down new vehicles? Yes, you do, Jack. Not sure what's happening there, but you get when you buy a new car from us, you're going to get some Ford Pass reward points, which gets about 3 oil changes in there for you for free. And yes, we sure do come pick up and deliver. So I don't know what happened there either, Jack. And Nancy, we'll call you after the show and figure out what happened there. If we got some miscommunication or something happened there too. But we make several trips a day to Hutch to pick up cars and get them over here and deliver for you too. So Jack and Nancy will get with you after the show and figure out what happened here. Okay. Anyway, 316-462-3673. Anything ailing your car, tires, brakes, batteries. And Josh, I got to roll into employee pricing. We haven't talked about that yet either. Okay. Ford announced last week employee pricing. And what that means is you pay what you really, let me just kind of break this out a little bit. I did it kind of a little bit last week. We'll do it again. You've got MSRP of a vehicle, then you have a D plan, that the employees here at the dealership pay. Then the employee pricing is going a step deeper than that to what we call A plan. And it's cheaper than D plan. So you're paying cheaper than what employees of the dealership would pay today on these new cars. And it's on every 24, and it's on almost every 25 except the 25 Expedition and the 25 Super Duties. And of course, it's not included on Raptor and Bronco Raptor and Ranger Raptor, that sort of thing too. But every other 25 is also included in this employee pricing. And it's going through June 2nd. But my only question I had telling everybody is I've seen Ford pull this early. If they've done too much, or sales are too great or whatever. I'm telling you, our sales are fantastic, right? People are taking very much advantage of that. So you don't want to miss it. We've got the largest inventory I bet you in Oklahoma, Kansas, almost probably Nebraska too. We've got so many cars in inventory here. So I know we've got everything we can. So you don't want to miss that employee pricing. It's a great deal for you as a consumer. And I'm telling you, when I was running the numbers when it first came out, I couldn't believe how good of a deal it was.
Yeah.
So don't miss the employee pricing. Don't miss the $25 rebate. from that part. And then the next thing is the 25 Expedition. We finally got a few in.
That was
first
one
couple of
the
them came in
to
and
talk
gone.
about. Yeah.
And I got a few more of them in this week, and got a Avalanche gray one sitting on the showroom. I tell you, on a truck, I wasn't a big fan of it for some reason, but I tell you, that one sitting on the showroom looks pretty good.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Just the contrast with the body lines and the other, accents on it. It does look really well. We got seen our first trimmer, which I was really excited to see that. We seen it at that Grassroots, and it looked really good there, but wasn't really able to get, I guess a really good look at it up there. And so we got one, and it's gone as well. So, but I thought that was a pretty good looking vehicle as well. What's one of the things that's kind of shocked me, honestly, is the window stickers on them. I've seen some of them that I feel like I don't know this specifically, but I've seen some of them that I feel like were cheaper than previous year models. So I don't know if you can confirm that or maybe talk to that a little bit.
That is very true. It is the price packages with everything you've added into it. The prices did not go up on the 24 from 24 to 25. Now we'll tell you though, the employee pricing on the 24s we still have left out here is dropping the price down, but they also put $2,000 also on top of A-plan pricing or employee pricing on that car too. So
trying to get rid of that, those older models, and there's as far as change wise on a new vehicle product, I would say that's probably one of the larger changes that I've seen in quite a while. Would you agree with that as far as body style, design, and interior?
Of course, that came out last fall.
Yeah.
I would say it's pretty close to being about the same.
That dash is just completely different in this Expedition.
Oh, yeah.
And then that the center console portion of it.
Center console. I was walking to the shop, and Eric, one of our techs, was pulling one in. He jumped out and goes, "Wow, this dash is incredible." I know it is. It's really kind of
space. I would say space age.
Type dash in it stuff too. The thing is, I want to drive one. I haven't had a chance to drive one yet.
I was going to ask you if you had drove one yet or not.
No, I haven't had a chance to get one out or whatever. And we got 3 or 4 more of them showed up here just here yesterday, I think. So I need to get out and drive one of those to see how they drive and stuff. And I can't imagine how much, just like Tim's talking, how much the 21 to that 24 that he's driving, how much difference there is. I can't bet how much difference there is in this 20 up to this 25 Expedition.
One of the other things, we got a caller that getting patched through here, but I was going to.
Well, she said she lost him, so I didn't push too hard there. Something happened there. Leonard was trying to get through, and who knows, cell service or something. We got in a bad area or something. So
yeah, Leonard, sorry. Let's see what we got going on there. One of the things this last weekend went down to, and Greg touched on this a little bit, is that Blue Cruise. But this last weekend went down to Oklahoma for a wedding there, and was able to use that Blue Cruise quite a bit. And there's actually a couple of roads down there that the speed limit is actually 80 miles an hour on. And so, that Blue Cruise disables at 81. It can't be too much longer. It's 82 mile an hour. It can't be too much longer, and they got to increase the speed in which that thing stays active.
I know.
What'd you think?
I told you my first issue with that when I was going racing in Iowa, and Jake had taken the trailer up early, and so Nick and I were coming up the next day, and naturally we're gonna make a fast trip out of it, and so we take off, and I'm running pretty fast, and Jake calls to check in. I said I picked a truck for Blue Cruise. I said I'm so damn pissed it's not working. I can't make it work. And at that time you had to hook your Ford Pass up to make it work, and I did that and everything else like that. And he goes, "Well, how fast are you going?" Look down, I'm doing 96. He says, "Well, it's not going to work.
You're going to have to slow her down a little bit." So I just got to think that they've got to bring that, and I don't know from their standpoint if maybe it's probability of it, not being able to react fast enough.
And there's some things right now with the Blue Cruise. I love Blue Cruise. I love it. I use it every day to come to work.
Yeah,
because down 235 and everything. But where I get frustrated is like this morning, I'm trying to merge into off at 235 on the Kellogg, and there's a lady running real slow, and you got 235 coming back in off the southbound coming in, northbound coming into you too. And I pull over there, and it's keeping you safe. I get it, but if I'm normally driving, I'm going.
So I totally agree with you. But then on the flip side of that, like, it's probably driving like we should be driving.
I get it.
You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I sit there and to sit there and be frustrated at a machine that's probably doing the right thing. So I had to think about that real hard when I was sitting there being frustrated with it a couple different times.
And Jeff Daniels says Blue Cruise needs to be 85. I agree. GM figured out their Blue Super Cruise goes 85. Hey, I get that, Jeff, but those Chevrolets, they can't go 85. That's a funny one. I thought it was funny. So, hey, Leonard, I don't know if we lost you or lost your deal, but if you want to call back, we'll get you back on the line here and everything else too. Anyway, anybody else calling in 316-462-3673. So anyway, so don't miss out on the $25 rebate. Don't miss out on employee pricing. Got a lot of good stuff coming. Jeff thought that was funny too.
So the on the the new product of the Expedition and being able to get here and have it, like what's the next thing?
Oh, I think what I think's next is more of a better hands-on driving. I think I'm ready for them to you put in your phone or your nav where you want to go, and it's going to help you get there.
You think?
Drive. Yeah.
Yeah, you think so?
Yeah.
I would.
I think that's going to increase more to where you're less hands-on. It's going to know where to stop, know where to go. It's going to turn the lanes for you. It's going to. What I mean by that is it's so when you got to go. Say we're going to go to Kansas City.
Okay.
And you plug that in. It's going to take off its nose. Like say you're going to go down 235, and then it's going to move you on the 96, get you up there, go to Emporia, go through the toll booth, and it's going to drive that thing through there for you. Is how I think it's going to happen.
Yeah. So I was wondering about. Like stop sign recognition and traffic light recognition. So right now in Blue Cruise mode, if you're in a group of vehicles, that the vehicle will, pace the car in front of you all the way to a stop or all the way to, sitting at a traffic light and then take back off again when the light changes. But if you're that lead guy or there's no other traffic around you, the vehicle doesn't do that. And so I don't know. I was curious about how they would change that or alter that to make it a more autonomous experience for sure.
Well, I think that's coming. There's no doubt that's coming. I do. But I think before we get fully autonomous with all the cars, that's why I think that's just another phase of getting from more hands off than what we are today is what I think. Like you said, stop light recognition. I mean, it got the crews out there to read the speed signs, speed limit signs, but
yeah,
that's not quite. I don't get along with that as well. And what I mean by that, if you're driving down a ramp, and I've had a lot of customers talk about this, and a speed limit say 60 running down Kellogg, within the off ramp over there says 40. Well, it'll pick up that 40 and it'll shut you down to 40.
Yeah,
I think they've got to come a little bit better to keep it on the main road, not the off ramp roads from that part. It's so maybe they'll get that a little bit better where they can recognize that, but. I don't know. Who knows what's next?
And then the other question that I had is, like, do you foresee the Bronco's been out for quite a while?
Yep.
Do you foresee like a body change?
I do. I think it's coming. I really do.
Yeah.
I think it is coming.
Yeah,
I
kind of figured that would be like the next big project or the next different body design. I thought would be it down the road here in a little bit.
Jason Cox, EFP. I'm not sure.
I think he means ESP is what I'm wondering.
Are you mean an extended service plan? Jason, you'll define what EFP means, but so we can answer your question 100% from that part too. So if you can let us know what you mean by EFP, if that's an extended warranty you're talking about, or is that a I think that's what he's talking about. But so let's until we get some more questions from Jason. Yeah, is extended warranties. You can buy a plan when you buy the car new. Okay, and then there's also a used car plan. When we sell used cars, there's another plan out there to buy for that used car. When you buy a new car plan, it starts from the date of service. Okay, when it went into play new. Granted, the warranty doesn't kick in. There you go.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's exactly what I thought, extended warranty. So, but it doesn't kick in until the 336 outruns. So then it kicks in at the 336 and get you coverage from that part. A used car plan doesn't get that credit for that 3-year 36. So a used car plan costs more because the liability is there more on a used car versus a new car. So it's best to buy it, in my opinion, buy it when you buy the car the first day. Now, can you come in and buy that and purchase that for that unit? You can do it up until the factory warranty is still in place. So if you come in at the exactly 3 months, 36 months and 30 or 36,000 miles, you can still buy a new car plan. But if you come in after the 3 years or the 36,000, I'm going to have to sell you a used car plan, and it's going to be a lot more money to sell you a used car plan because you're not getting that credit for that 3 year 36. So yes, it can be added. A lot of people like to put that in the finance contract and pay it out over time instead of trying to pay it all one lump sum. Now, we do have a plan that you can do. Take extended warning. You can take it over 12 months and make payments on 12 months at 0% interest too. So there's also some ways to help you on that part also, Greg, Jason. So you can purchase a warranty anytime you want. That's not a problem. But I would sure like to keep you under that new car warranty time limit to say that to save you a bunch of money from that part. Hope I answered your question, Jason. If you've got any more questions, you can either call in or send another comment on there so we can make sure we answer it for you too, okay? You ain't got no caller coming, right?
Yeah, let's go to the phones and talk to Greg. Greg, you're on live with Under the Hood. Good morning.
Morning.
Hi,
Hey,
Greg.
Phil.
Hi, Greg.
My Cadillac CTSV.
Yes.
I put new tires on during your three for special,
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
and I've got one wheel that's going down on air, and I think what it is when I bought that Cadillac in Oklahoma, it had at 5,000 miles. The dealer himself was driving it. Largest Chevrolet dealer in Oklahoma. He claimed at Blanchard, outside Oklahoma City.
Yep.
And he said he had the rims chrome plated, and I'm afraid the plating around the bead is getting loose.
Yeah, that's what I.
Do you have someone that does your chrome plating?
Yeah, we do. But if it's around the bead, what I'm thinking has happened here is on those aluminum wheels when they do that and they plate it, there might just be some corrosion where that bead is attaching the wheel. And do we need to go in and grind that corrosion away or clean that corrosion off to keep it from leaking is what I'm happening. The other thing they've come up with too, Greg, on these tires too, it's back in the day they had them, but it's improved so much more. They got a bead sealer now too. That might be something we might need to put on there to seal that bead on there to stop it from leaking. So we just basically need to take that tire off and put it in a dunk tank and see where it's leaking or whatever, and then dismount it and look at where that bead's mounting to that surface and stuff too.
And it's just one tire out of the three?
Yes, I think so. That's the other problem. Your quick lane people don't know how to set GM's sensors to get the right tire to the right place on the dash.
No, yeah, we do. We have the right tools to do that. So if someone's not doing it correctly, you're right. But we can get that set for you, Greg. That's not.
Phil, this is the third set of GM tires, and each time they've never done it right.
What that's one thing on GM vehicles. For whatever reason, you have to retrain them. But all other manufacturers, like you stick the tires on the car, you drive it down the road, and that vehicle relearns its location and where it's at and where it goes. So it is probably specific to that vehicle or to it specifically. So
well, Greg, when can we get that car from you and get that tire dunked and see if we can figure out where that bead's leaking or whatever? But I hope we don't have to go rechrome plate the tire rim. I don't think that'd be our last resort. Let's put it that way, to get to stop seeping or wherever it's sealing, not sealing on that bead or what it's doing. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Well, give us a ring, Greg. Get over. I'd like to know when you come over because I want to be involved in this too, see what's going on with it too. Okay.
Okay.
And then we'll get those tire sensors relearned correctly for you too. Okay.
Okay. Thank you,
Greg. Thanks for the call, buddy.
You bet. Bye.
Bye. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see if that's just corrosion in that rim or what it is on that rim. I'd be real curious about that too.
We had so I was involved with a gentleman. He ended up purchasing a Super Duty from us, but had purchased the vehicle before that was a Chevrolet, a 2500, and he specifically wanted black rims. Well, then they went and took them off. This was at the Chevrolet dealership. Took them off and painted them, and he had a terrible time. So we went through like 4 tires and what it was is that tire was, after they painted those rims or change the surface structure of that rim, the tire would actually turn on the rim as it was moving along. And so, you got to be pretty cautious when you're changing the original design of that thing for sure. So,
yep, exactly. So, well, anyway, Josh, been a good show.
It has.
Got to remind everybody, $25 rebate on the works package, good through the 19th. Don't miss that. If you're takes that $64.95 all the way down to $39.95. Don't forget about employee pricing. Jump on our webpage, mhford.com. Check out the huge inventories we have. If you're looking for something or thinking about getting close, that Ford's saying it's going to run through June 2nd. But, man, I'd hate for Ford to halfway through this thing pull the plug on it because it's sold too many cars and they spent more money than they thought to, because Ford is spending a bunch of money putting this off there by doing that. But, again, they have money set aside for rebates and that kind of thing too. So, I hope it stays out till June 2nd because so far it's been fantastic. How many new cars we are moving?
What's the largest rebate out there now as far as model line?
Well, it's Josh. It's really a percentage. This employee pricing, it's a percentage. So the higher the MSRP, the bigger discounts you're getting.
Okay.
But the biggest thing right now, the 24 F-150 and the 24 Expeditions are probably the best rebates to look at because they got the employee pricing and rebates on top of that. So don't want to miss that. Check that out. Check out our inventory. Let's see if one of our sales associates can help you with that, and don't miss out on that $25 rebate to save you some money on the works package till the 19th. So, anyway, everybody, thanks for watching. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for all the great questions and comments. And it's always fun to have this show every Saturday morning. And everybody, tune in Wednesday at 6:00 for the next Salt City Live update. Racing's coming pretty quick. April 25th is our first race over at the Hutchins County Fairgrounds. We're taking on the Heartland Modified Touring Series. I tell you, it's the fastest growing modified series in the country. They had a big race last night down in Missouri. Had a lot of cars there too. So very excited to get the Heartland Modified Touring Series, the first race at there, and then it kicks off and away we go. So tune in next Wednesday at 6:00 for Salt City Live update, and tune in next Saturday for the next Under the Hood show. Brought to you by Mel Hambelton Ford. Everybody have a great Saturday, and we'll talk to you soon.